We can't rise to the level of our competition or to whatever else is going on. We have to focus on running our own race. Your purpose was given to you, not the person next to you, not the person in front of you. It was given to you. So you have to run your own race and to an extent have a high level of tunnel vision in which I'm going to execute this no matter what. I don't care what my line sister is doing. I don't care what my homie from college is doing. I don't care what's happening with this ex. I don't care what's happening with this person or this friend or this relative that always has been kind of casting negative energy on me. A lot of times those people tend to be very close, unfortunately, right? And then that comparison syndrome starts, right? So comparison. And then the fourth thing is we think that these platforms have something going on, like they're out to get you. Have you ever asked somebody about Instagram again? Have you ever asked them about, like literally asked somebody on Instagram? It's the devil. I hate that thing, man. That thing, ooh, Instagram, ooh. It's like COVID, you know what I'm saying? Like, Instagram is the worst thing ever. You ask somebody about Instagram, it's responsible for breakups. It's responsible for lost time. It's responsible for screenshots that get into the group chats and cause a tailspin in our worlds. And they tend to blame these social media platforms for so much, like it's doing something to them. Like they not holding their phone. Wait, I gotta say that again. Like they not holding their phone. And that gets to my next point. Social media is a reflection of your soul. Your soul is comprised of your mind, will, and emotion. It can only give you what you subscribe to. These are opt-in services. Y'all know what opt-in means? It means you're opting into the experience. In order to get content on social media, you have to use your thumb on your free time because it's free, okay? You use your thumb on your free time and what do? What do you press? What's the word? It starts with an F. Follow. Instagram isn't doing nothing to you. My question to you is, what are you doing on Instagram? It follows your thumbprint. Your thumb is what presses follow. Your thumb is what presses like. Your thumb is what goes into the comments. Your thumb is what shares this funny post or meme with your friends that's in your top little stories thing. I do it every day. I see something funny or I see something I like to look at and I'll send it to them. I'm like, oh, you see this? Oh, okay. And so you send it, right? And it follows you. You know what also it actually does? And I talked to somebody earlier in here. She's wearing a green jacket, so I'm just not gonna call her by name. Don't look around. But she's a lurker. It even follows when you're lurking and not liking. So the algorithm follows you. There's two green blazers. Y'all gotta figure it out. All right? It follows when you're lurking. So what Instagram does is the algorithm is designed to keep you in the application. You ever notice when you look for something, it follows your thumbprint. And then what happens? You go get a coffee or get a drink, you know, you're in the South, it might be an Arnold Palmer, you come back and go on your feed, and what pops up? The same thing you were just looking for. It only is going to reflect your mind, your will, and your emotion. It's a mirror to you. So don't talk about what social media is doing to you. My question back to you is, what are you doing on social media? There's billionaires that run this thing. And they taking all this time, they're taking a log of everything that you do in this thumbprint. And what are they doing? They're selling it to advertisers. Right. Social media is an advertising platform designed as a social community. You guys know that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you know it's a business, you gotta play business the right way. Right. So stop acting like the game is doing something to you. You need to run game back on the game. You feel me? Yeah. So, getting into how to run game, I'm gonna get into some strategy and how you can run and turn your business into a brand. Okay, so these are the 3 E's of social media branding. A lot of us in here follow them, and there's a lot of us that don't. But that's why we're here, because we're all here to learn from each other, right? The first thing is education. When you're in business, the most shareable posts are gonna be education-based posts. Whether that's a carousel, whether that's tips, whether that's tools, that's tricks, that's insights, information. People love information and to consume information every day. when you get a new tip or you feel like it's a high that comes along with information, and we live in an informational time. And you've been the expert and you put in the work. So your expertise should be shared. If people are seeking education, show up in your authority as an educator. Stop playing with that. Like I said, too many of us are doing business in the shadows, and that's why our businesses are not turning to brands. You could have just worked and did the paperwork and went back to court and filed people's divorces and dealt with their family issues. But you decided to brand your business as the breakup lawyer. You could have just did your work, but you decided to show up. And that's a key decision I want to challenge everybody in this room. If you are showing up, continue to show up. And if you aren't, we got some work to do, and that's good, because we'll work on it and we'll do it together. Education and stepping within our authority as educators and leaders and walking in that confidence is very important in order for us to turn our business into a brand. Another thing is entertainment. The difference between a business and a brand is that a business provides products and services. A brand is a personality. It's a feel. It's a look. It gives you luxury. It gives you rooftop. It gives you summer breeze. It gives you spring energy. It gives you hot pink. You know what I'm saying? It gives you, the fresh curls. Like, it gives you that whole energy, a nice fragrance. A brand is a feeling. You want to have personality injected into your business. Long gone are the days where people talk about, I do this, I do that, and it's boring and it's black and white and it's just people want to connect with personality. The second most shareable content is going to be comedy and humor. So in the entertainment bucket, this is the second E. The first one was education. This one is entertainment. We need to be great entertainers and infuse our personality into our work and what we're putting out there. The third thing is engagement. We talked about this earlier. Engagement is a two-way conversation. We're not talking to ourselves. Before the word media, the word is social. So we're not having a one-way conversation. This isn't a monologue. So we need to engage with people within the social community. That's what it was designed to do, to have a flow of information both ways, front to back, side to side. So that means liking, commenting. There's so many people that utilize social platforms in an individualistic, egotistic way. They're just there to take all of the likes and all of the loves and enjoy that and don't follow nobody back. Are y'all follow backers or just like people following you? I don't know. It depends on the person. Okay, that's fair. Don't want to follow nobody back. Don't comment. Don't heart. You can't even heart a story. You couldn't even heart it. Like on the minimal level, I'm just here to take all of the love and I'm not giving any of it back. Right? All the hearts are for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I own them. And it's important to make sure that we are exerting and sharing as much love on social platforms as we're receiving. Because people want to have a conversation. How many times have you had a favorite brand and you commented on on them and you didn't see they saw their comments and they hit you back and you're like, wow, this brand or this influencer took the time to reply back to me. You felt intimate, you felt involved. This person took time out of their busy schedule to engage with me. They could have just treated me like I was another customer or another follower, but they just gave the opportunity for us to have a conversation. So work on your engagement. So the 3 E's of social media branding. The first one is education. The second is entertainment. And the third is engagement. So getting into how this all works, we talked about priming your mind for optimal success and turning your business to a brand. And then we talked a little bit about some tactics in terms of how to make that happen. But how does it all come together? Let's discuss that. Because we were trained in our areas of expertise. If you sell real estate, you're great at doing real estate. You might be good at contracts. People to do different things. If you're a lawyer, you're great in court. You're great with working in whatever field of endeavor that you're in, right? If you're an accountant, you're great with numbers. But if you're not great with social media or an area of your business, the same way you hire an accountant to handle your taxes and tax preparer, the same way you go to your hairstylist to style your hair and make sure it's hitting just right and the color, everything's flow. You go to a stylist to put your outfits together, right? You go to your tailor to tailor the side of your suit to make sure your suit fits right because you have a speaking engagement. You feel me? The same way you do that, and you're not necessarily an expertise. You don't know how to sew. You don't necessarily even know how to do a sew-in, right? You feel me? So, if you're not an expertise in a certain area, don't get mad at yourself for not knowing how to do it. A lot of people don't get started because I'm not an expert, I don't know how to do this, I'm not good at that. But she's really good at it, but I'm not good at that. That's okay. You have to invest in somebody that's a specialist in that area. And it's okay to not be good at everything. But one of the things that we're doing within this hustle culture is that too many of us are self-employed and not enough of us are business owners. Do you know the difference between being self-employed and being a business owner? And you go to their bio, I'm gonna tell you in a second. And you go to their bio, it says CEO, boss. I'm like, man, you've been listening to a lot of Rick Ross, City Girls. It's a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're really giving leadership in the bio. But behind the scenes, you put the curtains behind their business, it's a one-person operation. A business owner, business is still running when they're at brunch on Saturday. Orders are still rolling in. You have employees, you have staff who are working on your behalf to get your message out. Social media and turning your business into a brand doesn't happen unless you entrust a proper specialist to specialize in getting your message out. Because you need to be being out and being the face of your brand. If you're not out and being the face of your brand, you're always under paperwork, fulfilling orders, handling operations and logistics, how are you able to do the most important part of your business, which is servicing your clients and going out and developing sales and increasing the awareness of your business? Focus more on being the face of your brand and less about being self-employed, and learn to build an infrastructure and a team of operations that can support you in the areas of your business that you're not good in. Because the amount of time that you're spending trying to do something that you didn't go to school for, that you didn't spend 10 years doing, could be better suited in you operating in the aspect of the business that you're strongest in. And that 20% will provide the 80. And now you have a well-run unit instead of being a one-person show. If you're a CEO, and it says CEO on your business card, it says these things, show me your staff. Show me your system. Show me your Slack workspace. Show me your mechanisms. Show me your weekly meetings. Show me your strategy calls. How are you duplicating yourself? Brands are not individualistic. Brands are pistons within the community. Brands are amplifiers. And I'm gonna leave you with something. We're gonna go into the question and answer, and then we're gonna do a little trivia to see if y'all know, to see if y'all were paying attention. Okay? A couple of people strolled in late, so I'm not gonna judge them for doing that. But I'm gonna talk about the next question. We're gonna do some trivia, so. But I wanna leave you guys with this, in turning your business to a brand. And it's the last mindset, it's the most important one though. It's the SW principle. Some people will, some people won't. But somebody is waiting for your gift to impact them in the most profound way. Thank you. So we're gonna go into the trivia. Thank you for the round of applause. I like that, that was cool. So we're gonna go into the trivia. And so I'm gonna ask you the question. Whoever answers it first will get the Zelle. I'll get your information afterwards. What are the 3 E's of social media branding?
Education.
Hold on. She put her hand up first. Put her hand up first in the turquoise.
Engagement, entertainment.
All right, I'm gonna get your information. We're gonna do the Zelle after at the bar. Thank you for paying attention. Did you write that down or is that just? Okay, you did both. Okay, you doubled up on that. All right, so now we're gonna open the floor to questions. Anybody have any questions or anything that they wanted to ask? Okay.
What is a good budget for social media management? So for a business owner to include social media management into their business.
That's a great question.
What's a good range to?
That's a good question. It should be in their budget, it really, a lot of times people add it proactive, like add it on the back end. It should already be a part of your marketing. There's no reason you should have a business right now and you don't have a business plan and you already haven't allocated money towards marketing. So for one, that should be in the initial part of the business. I'm putting this towards the business, right? Social media, the budget that you put into social media depends on the size of your business and the type of audience that you're looking to reach. So when you're just starting out, that budget's going to be representative of what you want to share. So you have to do diligence within your market, and based on the size of your business and the client that you're looking to target, look and see what the going rate is and what the cost of acquisition is for that within your growth of your brand. Our firm, we work with typically medium-sized businesses.
Okay.
We start at $4,200 a month, and that includes full social media, packaging, branding across the board.
Okay.
But you need to look at that number not as a monthly number. You need to look at that number as an annual number. So you need to budget that out at the top of the year and say, hey, I'm going to do this for social media marketing, or say I'm going to put a certain percentage, like after taxes on my business, I'm going to put a certain percentage of my revenue, towards marketing, and pledge that. Always pay yourself back. And I know we're in Atlanta, and a lot of times, especially in our community, people get successful, they get a couple contracts, and they're more so focused on putting that money into a lifestyle or having a look, and not investing that back into their business or investing that into staff. So I could have just come here today as an individual, but I brought my videographer. I also brought my social media assistant manager, Melissa, my videographer, Eli Chandler. And I took my budget out of my speaker's fee and put another budget in place to take a conversation that was in a room of 50 people to turn it into a conversation that could be in a room of 50,000. But I had to invest. So I was like, all right, cool. If it's gonna take another 500 for me to reach more people, I need to take that other 500 out of my speaker fee to hire additional staff to make sure that this process is documented. Because I'm gonna chop this up into 47 clips. It's gonna last me years. I just posted a clip from a speaking engagement I did in October. So I'm already thinking of how I'm gonna cut this up 30 ways. Me and Melissa already been discussing strategies, like, all right, cool, we're gonna chop this up. You got the gimbal, you got the HD. I need 4K and 4K both sides. I need you to move, I need you to be stationary. You have to be that anal with it. I'm only telling you things that I actually do and I commit to myself, and I put my own card behind and my own budget behind. So I'm like that haircut from Men commercial from the 90s.
Can I just give like a real life example of like what he's saying is so.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going into my third year of business, and so my first year I couldn't imagine putting $1,000, let alone $4,200 into marketing. But going into my third year, and I just did my taxes, and my accountant looked at my business bank account, and I'm doing really well. And she's like, you need to spend money. Like, what are you doing? So it looks good to look at money in your account. However, as you grow, in order to make more money, you have to spend money. And one of the areas that she told me I need to put money toward is marketing. And she said, you need to put 25 back. I mean, I ain't trying to brag, but I was like, girl, I don't want to take no. She's like, what are you doing? You just want to see the money sit in your bank account? Like, what are you doing? And so that's why it's very important as you grow. I don't know if you're in your first year of business or whatever year. First year it may sound like 4,200.